as a person. Don't think in a box. And you'll find that the degree programs which you're introducing in the university, we are introducing a course like entrepreneurship. It's a very, very important course, whereby you have to stand on your own. If you don't get employment, you don't sit down there. You have to know that your stomach will not keep quiet. If you sit down, it will start complaining, isn't it? And when it complains, it makes you to go out there to look for work. Just today, when another student came to my office and she was telling me she wants to do a master's course in a school. And then I asked her, what have you been doing? She was telling me, well, since I left, I didn't get a job, but it's just about 3-4 months ago that I got a job. Yeah, I told her that is good. It's better for you to do that job than just sitting down doing nothing. I was very surprised when Robert was asking you about that place around the museum. And most of you said that you have not been there at all. I was very surprised also. And you don't know what it is, and you have construction managers here. Yeah? That is a land which was given out by the University of Nairobi to the government so that they can do what, and the tour of the Thika Road. Yeah, when you come from Thika Road, you'll be coming there will be flyovers, others going under, and so on. So you need really to be innovative. When you get to these sites, you should visit them. And that's why actually I think every year there must be a trip out to the construction site so that you understand what is happening there. About 3 weeks ago, I met one of my former classmates and asked him, what have you been doing? And he told me, with me, I left quantity surveying. I asked him, what? Why did you leave quantity surveying? He told me the reason is that I would like to build something which I can see. Yeah? I don't just want to be a quantity surveyor calculating here or running a project this way, that way. And then he told me he's now a contractor. And currently he's doing some work even at St. Andrew's Church here. He's been given some extension to do. What I'm trying to say here is that construction management is very key. You might be an architect, you might be a land economist or a valuer, you might be a quantity surveyor, you might be a planner and designer. Construction is very, very key in this country. And over the many years I've been practicing in this industry, I found that really projects are not performing, construction projects. And if you look at the studies which you have done around, we see that there is what we call time and the cost overruns. You do a project, whether Ministry of Work, whether university, you will find somehow the costs will go up. And the time, the projects will not be completed on time. And we say actually time is money. When projects are delayed, it means you, the client, is not getting value for money. And that's why construction management course was introduced. Particularly in this university, we had to introduce it so that at least we are able to address some of the deficiencies that we have noticed in the construction industry. And I'm happy that we have got the first class now in that year. We will be graduating next year. So this is something which we are proud of, and all of you, you can be a better contractor if you have a degree from this school. Yeah, some of the people who are contractors there are illiterates, by the way. And there are some we have worked with in the industry. Some of them cannot even sign a check. They get younger wives who they now make them, you see, to be carrying their briefcases. No, that's what it is. Their briefcases and the pen to sign for them. Yeah? Because they don't understand. And then our African contractors, when they get money, you know what they do? You know, when they get $1 million in their pocket, of course I've seen $1 million, not one. When they get $1 million in their pockets, they think, oh, they have arrived. So they go for a Mercedes vehicle, they go for the second wife and the third. Within no time, the project collapses. Yeah? Because they are not plowing back the money into the project. And that's why I'm saying, since you have construction managers here, we have got people here who are professionals. These are some of the things which you can teach or even help the industry to pick up. There was someone that I was working with in town. He's a master's student in valuation. And I was asking, how is the industry today? Just today. He was telling me things are not bad. This year is much better than last year. Yeah? So there is a lot of hope, by the way, in the industry. I don't think you will go out and be unemployed. It was only the other day someone they called me and said, I want to employ 3 quantity surveyors. But you know they are not in the industry, for your information. If you get the ones who left last year, not one of them comes here to look for a job. The Ministry of Works advertised for 60 quantity surveyors just this last month. And in fact, they cannot get even that because they are not there. So somebody was asking me, do I leave the private sector now and join them? And the ministry, I told him, now if you are comfortable where you are, at least go on. So there is a lot of hope in the construction industry. And you say, those who have done economics, we also say, the construction industry actually, yeah, is what? I believe you have done industry. It's the indicator, isn't it? If the economy is doing well, the construction industry will be blooming. Yeah, it will be doing quite well. If the industry is doing badly, or the economy is doing badly, we will have no work. But there is a lot of work. And that's why we should pray very hard that these two politicians, the big one, the big two, keep on agreeing. Yeah? Yeah, the way they consulted, and one minister now was moved from one ministry to the other. You see? If they keep on working together, we are saying there's a lot of hope, isn't it? And that's what we should pray. Whether it's through the referendum, whether it's 2012, we don't want to cut each other's neck. We should really live as brothers and sisters. With me, I don't care whether you come from east or west. Yeah, I look at you at home as my students. Are you getting me? I don't care whether you come Kabirondongap, whether you come from Sambweni, whether you come from Mount Kenya. You all belong to us. And that's why we are saying, let us be patriotic. When you go to an office, don't just employ your brothers and sisters. Are you getting me? Don't, please don't. Yeah, get people from all over. And if you are classmates, you can get a Kikuyu and a Luo becoming partners, isn't it, out there? And you have seen it working. A Kalenjin and a Kikuyu, a Kalenjin and whoever. Oh, because we are one country, isn't it? We are Wakuito, go to the other side, Mondo Witu. All of you mix. Yeah? And then you form one country. Yeah? You won't be surprised by that, don't take this lightly. But in 2008, there are people we knew who are in even very close relationship. Yeah? If you know, somebody Kisi marrying a Mukikuyu. And this guy was being chased from the village. Yeah? You cannot bring that person here to us. And then in South Nyanza itself, yeah, there was a lady who was being called Maina. Yeah? And then they didn't know that actually the grandmother had been married there many years. So the same Luos was slaughtering their daughter, thinking that the Kikuyu has come here. But because of the intermarriage, yeah, you get people called Kenyatta the other side. Now Moi is going everywhere. Okay, Bakena will be called everywhere. So you might kill your brother thinking you are killing Kibaki or Bodaya. But it's your brother. What you are trying to say is that really let's behave or let's live as a nation. Let's be patriotic and let us love one another.